Hello, my name is Angela. I'll be demonstrating how to make pizza dough. So first we want to start out with our water and our yeast. We take our water and then we add our yeast and we give it a little stir. I'm going to use my measuring spoons and I stir it up a little bit. I also, at this point, want to make sure that there are no bubbles and that it's not little solid pieces in there, so I want to give it a good stir. And once I've gotten this all incorporated, so it's not clumps of yeast on the inside, and sometimes they're a little tight, I want to take something to sweeten it up. I want to use a sweetening agent. And at this point, I'm going to have some honey. So I'm going to take my honey and I'm also going to add it into my yeast and my water. We take that and we stir that up as well. You want to do this in the beginning of class because at the beginning of class, most of the students are coming in to start everything. And sometimes it takes a minute for the yeast to activate. And you also want to use this kind of a science project with the children so they can see how yeast works with the warm water. We take that and we sit it to the side. And then at this point, we want to make sure that the children measured out all of their dry ingredients. So we have it here in the bowl. We want to make sure that they put all of their ingredients inside of a bowl because what happens is if they have it on the table, it gets a little messy. So we want to make sure that everything is inside of the bowl. We also want to take it and we want to mix it up. So we'll have the children take their fingers and incorporate all of the flours mixed together, which would be the white flour and the wheat flour and salt. And then we want to have them make a well. Pour your oil in first at the bottom of your well. The oil makes it a little more pliable, so when you're mixing it together, it allows everything to be able to work together. And our yeast has already begun to ferment. We're going to go ahead and pour it in the middle. You take your two fingers and you move the oil into the middle side, to the middle of the well, a little bit at a time. The kids really like this part because their fingers get really, really messy. This is the messy part of the class. And you want to have them just keep working it in and working it in a little more. Then they can start adding a few more of their fingers. And then they want to start working the dough. And when I say working the dough, I mean more so of kneading the dough and incorporating everything within inside of the bowl. Now, when they do this, you want to make sure that they see how everything is incorporated and bring the little pieces that are to the side. They want to work those in as well. Mine is getting a little dry, so I would like to add a little more water. Work it together. And kneading for them means just you pull it together from each side, fold it over, flip it over, fold it over. But you don't want to work it too much, so you want to have the children pass it around so that each person can have an opportunity to fold it. And then just kind of make it into your little ball. You want to see how pliable it is to make sure that it's not too overworked and that everything is incorporated. And you may not use all the flour and everything that's on the inside of the bowl, but at least you'll have the opportunity to see. It may not be enough, but maybe too much. Now, I've rolled mine into a little ball. My hands are still a little sticky, but that's okay. How you know that your yeast is ready and that you kneaded it enough is that when you press it, it springs back. So you press it, it springs back, give them the opportunity to press it, see it spring back, and it's nice and soft and pillowy-like. And then you take it, make a nice little ball, and then you sit it to the side and cover it and put it in a warm and snuggly place. So now that our dough has had time to rise, this is how it was initially. Now our dough has doubled in size. So now it's ready. It's still nice and soft. It feels really good. And you know that it's ready because it's doubled in size. So we're going to take this dough and then we're going to put it here and also give it time to rise. Now we're going to make our individual pieces. So we take the dough that we have. We make sure that we cut it so that the children can have a small piece. And if that doesn't work, you can use a knife. And then we cut it in half. So this is their own little portions, individual portions. And then we can put this to the side so that I can show you how to roll them out. We want to encourage the children that when they're rolling out their dough, to use their fingers, and that they don't always need a rolling pin. Now they can take something from home, like a round bottle, kind of clean it up a little bit and use that to roll it out, because sometimes you may not have a rolling pin at home. But you want to show them how to press their dough out. So they take their fingers, and then they start working it. But the most important thing you need to know is that you need to have flour on your board. But we don't want to use too much flour. They like flour, and then they like it to be everywhere. So we want to make sure that they use enough, and then that they take their fingers and they press it out, and they keep on going. So you want to make sure that they make it, everyone's is about the same size. Same size, and that they don't have holes. That's another thing. They always make holes. So you have to tell them that dough is forgiving, but this dough is not too forgiving, but you want to love the dough. So you don't want to overwork it. So you want to make sure that you take it, and that if you can put it together, then you can. But sometimes they always mess it up, and then you look over and they have a whole bunch of flour on their hands and a big ball of dough that they rolled out several times. So encourage them to try to get it in one take, meaning that they've taken it and they rolled it out. And if they get a hole, just kind of fold it over and keep on going. So now I have my dough rolled out. I have it on my cutting board because I want to make sure that if I don't have a proper place to put my dough on the counter, then that's it. But if they use the cutting board to roll their dough out completely, make sure that they move it around and that they don't press it all the way into the board, because it will stick. And then they'll have to, call you over, and you'll have to kind of peel it up for them. But take it, roll it around. If they run out of flour, just 2 fingers and spread it out. And there we go.